here we go. That was just really well done by Dallas Fuel. Might be able to win this fight. Let's see if they can do it. XQC jumping in, doing damage.
That was a masterclass from the Spitfire.
Looks like Dallas is going to hold for just a bit longer. And that will be it. Dallas Fuel.
That's going to hurt in the morning, though.
Welcome back, everyone. We are live from the Blizzard Arena in LA, and it is time for the final match of the day. How's everyone feeling out there? You guys having fun so far? It's what I love to see. I'll be honest, yesterday's crowd was a little bit louder, but I have a feeling you guys are about to wake up here in the venue. Real quickly, let's reintroduce our analyst desk. We've got Reinforced Sideshow and our insider, Zoe, joining us once again. Zoe, what do you think about Florida's big win?
Oh, you know, I'm just so happy for them. They kept this positive outlook. They kept the positive spirit going into every match. And this week, they just showed so much improvement. Against Seoul already, I really think they made it competitive. And now against the Shanghai, they really stepped it up. But also Shanghai, I did love that we saw so much more coming out of them. And that really gives me hope for future matches.
Sideshow, for anyone who's just joining the show, what VODs do they need to watch at the end of the day?
Oh, at the end of today, I mean, the first game that we had was a cracker as well. I would go back and rewatch that. A pretty close game, even though the scoreline might not suggest it. It was a good game to start the day off. But for Shanghai and Mayhem as well, that last game of Numbani was pretty good. I think, especially for the Shanghai guys, they'll want to go back and watch that, tweak a few things, and they'll be a dangerous team.
Johnny, I got to close it out with you. We've already highlighted two players of our match sponsored by Omen by HP, but I got to get it from you. Most impressive player that has walked into the building so far.
Oh, well, it has to be Logix, right? He just stepped up when he needed to, and he got all the Tracer pulls from. He stepped up on Widowmaker, on Dorado, and Ilios, of course. I'm just really happy to finally see Logix pop off, and maybe they can carry the momentum in the Florida Mayhem squad.
I'm telling Fleta and Miro, you said it was Logix here on day 3, week 2.
I mean, we gotta be fair here. Did Fleta like nail in-air Farah pulse bomb? I don't think he did. So
No.
style points definitely go to
But
Logix here.
you also said walk into the arena, and I don't think that Logix actually walked. He kind of rode, galloped, whatever you would call that. Had a spring in his step. So
We're going to buy a little bit of time here for our teams that are still setting up on the main stage. So far here in week 2, what has been your biggest surprise, Reinforce?
Oh, my biggest surprise. Oh, now you're putting me on the spot,
Always,
right?
Johnny on the spot. That's what I do to you.
Logix turned up again.
Wow, nailed it.
The biggest
Good
surprise
job.
for me, actually, has been the Dallas Fuel, because they've been such a good team for so long. Their underperformance yesterday when they played against the Houston Outlaws, and Houston Outlaws themselves playing so well, I thought that that was a fantastic game that actually has big repercussions for how the top of the Western teams end up going towards the playoffs for Stage 1, and how Dallas Fuel bounced back.
Yes, but also Houston Outlaws. We didn't expect Houston to perform at all going up against Dallas. But then Jake took to the Genji, and they suddenly could start playing dive composition. So Houston Outlaws are surprising their own.
Let's talk a little bit about Dallas here, Zoe, because Houston walked away with the 4-0. We're about to see Dallas return for the second time this week. They're starting 0-3. What issues did they have in their match last night?
I think most people would agree that one of the main complications we saw from the team, and I think everyone at home also kind of mentioned that somewhere in the internet, was communication. I think their shot calling kind of fell flat in a lot of moments. I do think that the general communication and the way the team worked together, it just didn't feel like the Dallas Fuel we know. It wasn't the Dallas Fuel we saw in the preseason. It wasn't the former Team Envy either. It was just
Yes.
I'm not
Yeah.
They
sure.
seemed off, for sure.
Yeah, very off.
They've been experimenting with different additions to the team, and the way that they're able to integrate these new players is going to have big ramifications for Dallas moving forwards. So I think that's players sneaking onto the stage as well behind us.
Look at this gorgeous Reinhardt we got here.
Tony ults. I know that feel.
I love it. I love it. Johnny, can you explain this for any of our new fans?
Zoning ults?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's basically when you earth shatter a shield to scare off the enemy.
Guys, I have to give you props. We filled enough time to get to our match schedule. You guys ready to get caught up? It's time to get into the action. Here's how we started the day. It was Seoul Dynasty starting off with a 3-0 record. Well, they 4-0'd Boston Uprising and now are sitting up top of our leaderboard at a perfect 4-0. The Shanghai Dragons showed some improvement in their match against the Florida Mayhem, but it's the Mayhem walking away with their first victory of the regular season. And now we got the big battle. It's the fight between the London Spitfire and the Dallas Fuel, and I'm told our teams are getting ready to walk out. So ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and welcome to the stage. It's the London Spitfire. These players have been so impressive, starting back at preseason, but improving to today. They currently are sitting at 2-0, undefeated after picking up wins over Florida and Philadelphia.
Yeah, this could be the best Korean team. On paper, they look fantastic. They have so much depth to pull from for this roster, and they're trying to combine the two together. Now, so far, they've looked a little bit shaky to me in terms of their team play and their synergy, but they have so much individual talent that they have ripped through teams that they're playing against purely on that.
Yes, as the season progresses, I think London Spitfires will just continue to improve. Obviously, they had two teams come together at the start of the season, and now they're finally integrating Profit and Birdring together. Two of the best DPS players in the world, so this team is going to be so exciting to watch.
I mean, honestly, I have to say, if you're asking me which is the best Korean team, I think you currently can make a case for any of the Korean teams. However, I do feel like I'd need to wait to see them facing off against each other to really have an educated opinion on this topic.
I think that's a smart move, so I wait for the head-to-head. But let's break down this starting lineup because this is a ferocious squad. You got Gesture working alongside Fury on the tank roles. Bedozin is going to be working with Nuss to heal. And then, of course, we got Profit and Birdring, the DPS duo that everyone in the Overwatch League respects and also fears. Let's go into their opponent, Phil, as we welcome back for the second time this week. It's the Dallas Fuel. Good to see Harry Hook leading the charge as they come out of the tunnel. Right behind him is going to be Chips. Today, we're going to see the old school lineup here from our Dallas Fuel squad and reinforce. I felt like it's time for a change because this team is coming in at 0-3 after mixing up the lineup so many different times.
Yeah, they had trouble integrating their substitute players, of course, so now it's back to basics, and I'm so happy to see this. They had so much success in the past. Obviously, you have Effect now on the DPS role, always consistent performer, and now you have Taimu in the squad as well, who is the X factor, who can pop off on McCree and Widowmaker. We saw the McCree play yesterday on Eichenwalde, so I'm looking out for the squad to finally turn up today and get their first win.
Yeah, I mean, their first match in the Overwatch League was incredible competitive against one of the favorites, Seoul Dynasty. They did win a map, they drew one, and they definitely have what it takes to go head-to-head against the best teams here.
Now, Sideshow, we do see Taimu back in the lineup. He's great on McCree. He's fantastic on the Hog. What do you want to see him playing today? Now see him back alongside Effect.
Yeah, I mean, the reason that they have Taimu back in the lineup is that he is the X factor for this team, I think. At any point, this guy makes risky plays, but he has such great aim, great hook accuracy with his Roadhog that he can go off and be a huge contributing factor to them winning team fights that otherwise they wouldn't be able to secure. So we didn't see him for the majority of their games yesterday. Today, he'll be looking to have a big impact.
Johnny, we've seen so many different roster swaps from both of these squads. Let's talk about the success or some of the issues we've run into, starting with Dallas. When you're not running the core six that are in the starting lineup for at least game one, what were some of the glaring problems that you've seen?
Well, we brought it up before. Communication has been a deep issue. Integrating Kusta, who is from Australia and likes to talk a lot and communicate. Then you have Chips Hyen, who's another Effect support for the squad, but he is not so talkative at all. So finally, going back to basics, I think the communication will be a lot more calmer, and maybe Effect will be able to sync more with Coco and get those dives in.
We've seen issues on the Dallas side of things, but London's also mixing up the lineups quite a bit. So in the preseason, they stuck to one lineup or the other. Now in the regular season, they've constantly been mixing things.
Yeah, I was actually really surprised. We had a lot of discussions here on the desk thinking, do they really want to mix those rosters, or like how are they going to go out about that? And in week number one, they already showed that they're mixing and matching the support duos, the DPS and the tanks. So we saw a lot of varieties coming out of London Spitfire. And you know what? It's been working out great for them. It looked like there was a lot of synergy, and to me personally, it did not look like they had to like mash two teams together.
Yeah, now the interesting thing actually for Dallas Fuel as well is looking at this big picture, the subs that they have do kind of make sense. They fix a lot of the holes in this team. They have an aggressive Winston and XQC. They have Kusta, who can fill a lot of the support roles, and they have Seagull, who can fill the Genji and Pharah, but they it's going to take time for Kai, I think, their head coach, to be able to integrate these guys in. So for now, when they need a bit of momentum in the season, when they need to start feeling better about themselves and get back up to that form, I think starting back to basics, as you were saying, Reinforce, is the best move.
Yes, and also build from a core. We've seen Seoul Dynasty successfully integrate so many players into their squad, but Dallas Fuel, they've been substituting too many players at once. Seoul Dynasty has always stuck to 4 players, and Dallas Fuel maybe has to stick to a core 4 and build from that as well.
Enough on the roster depth. Let's talk about these starting lineups and talk about our players to watch. I want to start with you, Reinforce. When you look at the London Spitfire, you're the Dallas Fuel. Who are you scared of most?
I'm scared of Birdring here, because Birdring can turn up on the Widowmaker. And if you're Dallas Fuel, I really think that you will be able to handle the dives coming in from the Genji and Tracer if you put Taimu on the Roadhog or the Junkrat. So Birdring really here has to show up on the Widowmaker and maybe do a lot of damage from afar. He has a great Roadhog himself, but the Widowmaker and the Makrian Soldier is what I'm looking out for.
Sideshow, who is the biggest threat playing for Dallas Fuel that could stop London from going up to 3-0 on the leaderboard?
For me, I think it's got to be Taimu. Even though Effect has had such great performances in the past and has previously been a carry player, if Taimu returns to his height, he had a poor performance in their previous match against the Outlaws, and he came out with this tweet. And this is the kind of stuff that we need to see from him, this fire, this drive and determination to become a star player for this team.
You know, this is such a raw tweet, but I love the end. But I will get it back. I will force it if I have to in order to win. Taimu's going to try and get Dallas Fuel a big win, but this is going to be a tough series. It's time to get into the action. We got our casters ready. Let's send it backstage to Monty and Doa.
That's right, guys. We are back here, and we are psyched. Dallas Fuel versus London Spitfire. It's been a rough week for Dallas so far, but this is a great opportunity for them to kind of bring it back and close out strong.
It hasn't only been a rough week, though. It's been a rough Overwatch
season,
League. Even in these early stages, I don't think anybody would have reasonably predicted them to go 0-3, especially when they came out so strong against Seoul, taking a map, nearly winning that series. But it's been a bit downhill from there. And I have to say, like the desk, I am happy to see a return to a more standard lineup on Junkertown, because this is the map they beat Seoul on.
Yeah.
And they also went 8-7 on Junkertown against the Valiant, and when they debuted a different roster against the Outlaws, they couldn't even take the first point.
Sure enough, and I mean, that's what it really comes down to in Dallas, it seems like right now. It's kind of this experimentation that's being done with the roster, with the compositions they want to use. We've talked about it on Watchpoint earlier, where they kind of struggle compositionally and that they don't play a lot of the standard dive we've seen before. So they're trying to get a lot of things ironed out right now, so you got to expect some losses.
Absolutely, and I think it has been a problem that they have lacked, like you're saying, the standard dive or something that can be reliably played on all maps instead of their very creative strategies.
Right.
And without that to fall back on, but they are working on that. It's been very clear. They played it in their last match against Houston on Horizon. It's not there yet for them, but it needs to be. And we see the coach as well, Kai, tweeting consistently about, hey, we need to really improve this, and it's going to take some time to work out the kinks in our system.
Very true. Well, we are getting things set up here on Junkertown. It's going to be London Spitfire on the attack, Dallas Fuel on the defense. Looks like they may be going with a little bit of triple tank here.
Well, we'll see. They right now looks like Taimu on the Roadhog. So yes, triple tank with the Widowmaker. So no quad tank. We have seen that strategy in the house on the forward right-hand side of your screen.
Right.
That's actually something that London has done on this map as well. And we've seen weird strategies from the Spitfire, including having a Reaper on Prophet on attack, and it looks like they're going to do that again. So same strat that we've seen from London on attack.
It's worked really well in the past for them. They're going to have it again. They're going to have the nano boost from Bedosin onto Prophet's Reaper later on. Here comes the push. No, there's the swap. Bedosin changing. Well, back to the Ana. That was interesting.
All right, so Birdring moves over to the Widowmaker right now, and this is the same strategy they used in their last attempt here on Junkertown. And the idea is, if they're playing this many tanks, you have a chance to walk up onto the enemy team with the Reaper and make a play. Prophet is behind them right now. He's waiting for his team to engage.
Look out, man. Prophet coming in, gets Harry Hook, fades out, man, and that is scary already. The res comes in, but that's the res down now for Dallas Fuel. An opportunity for London to press forward.
Birdring is now jumping out of spawn again, so opportunity here for London to push forward. They go ahead and use the resurrection on the Jester, and Prophet is support hunting.
Oh, he's coming back again. Takes down Harry Hook one more time. Nuss on the other side did use that Valkyrie, but Prophet doing most of the work there. Oh, there's the final blow onto effect, and that payload will get most of the way through point A.
Now, you don't even need to use the Reaper on the tank line if Prophet is waiting until Dallas Fuel commits and then running in to pick off those supports. Harry Hook, no way to really get away from a Reaper at that close range.
Oh, it's a tough situation for Dallas to be in because obviously Reaper is great against this many tanks. And how do you protect the backline from the Reaper and also handle what's coming at you in the front with these three tanks?
Yeah, they are going to be coming back though, Doe. Actually, interestingly, they fell off the payload there for a second, so it stopped temporarily. This may give Dallas a chance here.
It is odd. All right, looks like they're just gonna let it finish. Okay, so Dallas deciding to just allow that one. I don't know, Effect's behind him. This is really
very
weird.
far behind them right now, and he's going to die. So he actually tried for a flank behind the payload. That looked like a miscommunication from Dallas as to whether they were going to engage that or not, because instead, Effect just gets massively staggered.
That's right, the sleep dart does connect. I believe it was Chips here, but that's gonna make it a bit awkward for Dallas. Dosen hopping over the wall.
He's waiting for this nano boost, looking from behind. He wants to get a sleep dart. He's been hiding back there. He's gonna actually use the bio grenade.
I didn't connect with the bio grenade though. Yeah, so no easy kill. There's the nano boost though used. Gesture already taken down, but Prophet, if he can get a lot with this boosted Reaper, maybe they can keep pushing, but no, it looks like that nano boost is not really gonna come to a whole lot. Nuss taken down after he reses.
It's time to change.
Yep, I think so. Effect with a couple sniper kills, and yeah, now it's time to swap the comp up a little bit. Looks like they're gonna go for a bit more dive, unsurprisingly.
We'll see if Prophet actually makes this change. Didn't have a chance to use the Death Blossom. He seems to think he's going to have a good opportunity. No. Yeah, give it up. I think that's the best call right now. You need to be able to attack this high ground, which isn't feasible. Reaper just sort of has to walk directly up onto it. You didn't see them get that opportunity. Nice headshots from Effect to end that engagement and force a change here from the Spitfire.
Dallas has a lot of ults to use too as Taimu comes in. Ooh, can he get a hook? No, couldn't get him during the res. It was a close call. Dallas having to fall back. There is the whole hog now. Trying to take down Gesture. He does succeed in that. Scattering them off the payload. Can he get the hook? No, another hook. Not connecting. The Winston is back. And Taimu finds himself kind of between everybody right now. Getting a bit low, has to take a breather. Meanwhile, Harry Hook won the Zen v Zen. That payload's still moving, but stalled out for a moment now.
Yeah, Effect in the back line. Still looking to find some kills. We'll get one onto Gesture, but Coco will fall to Prophet in the front line, and now Prophet taking care of some of these supports.
Yeah, that's right. Taimu in a lot of trouble as well. And there goes Mickey. They're going to stagger him a little bit. Not too much, actually, but either way, they win the fight, and that's going to be most of point B. Dallas will see if they decide to go for a late point B defense here.
I think it's going to be pretty tough for them. They have to walk into Prophet, who has the Dragon Blade, and
yeah, it'll be hard to get there.
Harry Hook is found out on the upper floor, will cause a res to be used.
Yep. All right. Taimu caught off guard. Another hook not connecting. Might have been reflected there. Oh, that works though. Gets him. Stayed a little bit too close. No kills from the pulse bomb of Birdring. Tries to get behind Mickey here. Coco, rather. There's the Dragon Blade for Prophet. Oh, Chips taken down. Couple kills for Prophet already during the ultimate. And London Spitfire winning this fight pretty handily.
Yeah, and Harry Hook used his Transcendence to get on top of the card. So all Prophet had to do was get resurrected and wait it out before he went ahead and triggered his Dragon Blade. So that'll be point B completed with 3 minutes remaining.
Yeah. So Dallas not really able to slow down London too much yet here on Junkertown. It's an attack-focused map, so that's kind of what we expect to see from time to time. Oh, Harry Hook in a lot of trouble. Kind of on his own, was away from the shields, away from the rest of the team. Easy pickings for Gesture, and now Gesture manages to somehow separate Harry Hook from the team. For the moment, gets back down there. Can he find any more kills? Either way, he's getting Dallas out of that entrenched position, and That payload is still moving in the meantime.
Yeah, couldn't push anybody into the waiting arms of his teammates, though. And Dallas Fuel, they've just been on this triple tank composition for the entirety of the map so far. Only thing that's really changed is, in fact, moving over to that Tracer.
Harry finds another good ult fire onto Birdring. Good shot there. Mickey D Mech, though, that's a diva out of the way. London may be able to utilize that to push forward. Effect trying to find the kill on Bidosin, gets low. Heals coming in just in time.
Bidosin coming all the way back around the other side. He's there with Birdring.
Oh,
and
Prophet.
they've got him in a pincer right now.
Wow. Well, there goes Taimu. And man, it doesn't take a Prophet to tell you how this fight is going to end.
That was actually very well played by the Spitfire. So what Bidosin and Birdring did was they went underneath and across the point, and they were intercepting people coming back to the payload from the fuel. Meanwhile, London still outnumbering people, and having the Dragon Blade active led to a cleanup and the stagger kills from the incoming players.
Yeah, so Dallas has the Transcendence here. Gonna need to use it at just the right time. Fury getting in the backline zone. Mickey down already. Mickey gets the kill to Bidosin while he's out of the mech at least. And they're gonna push London back for the moment.
No way you're really going to be able to contest this right now. You just saw the Transcendence go down.
Yeah.
So it's going to be about...
Fight it out. Taimu's had enough.
It's going to be about the next push with such little time remaining.
Yeah. Dallas with a real opportunity here to prevent London from finishing the map. In fact, if he gets a good pulse bomb, that could end it.
I mean, that's what he needs, but
yeah.
Unfortunately, Bidosin with the Transcendence is going to make finding that pick difficult because he has to hit one of the lower HP characters so it's not instantly brought back up in health.
Oh, Coco dying early. Caught out just a little bit.
But he got Nuts.
He had to get up that high ground. Yeah, the kill on Nuts does help quite a bit. Birdring, looking, lurking, dancing around the payload. Mickey D Mech, Taimu taken down by Prophet. The DPS duel, one on the London side. And there goes Mickey. So Dallas slowly losing people. And yeah, the responses are close, but you need to get something on your end. No kills for Birdring's pulse bomb at least, but Chips does fall anyway. Coco goes down, and Dallas gonna be bottled up in their spawn. Can they even get back to the payload? Just barely. Oh, and Mickey can't get there. So that will be the map completed with 6.4 seconds remaining. So Dallas nearly pushed them to overtime, but just weren't quite able to do it.
Yeah, and that last push was going to be so difficult for Dallas to hold. They were very far behind when it came to charged ultimates available and didn't have an answer to a Valkyrie or Transcendence, really. But they maximized the amount of time they could have had, and we've seen Dallas push through this map quite quickly on previous attempts.
Yeah.
So we'll see if they change things up. So previously for Dallas, on attack, we were expecting to see Harry Hook himself, a very good hit scan player, despite normally playing a support position. Taimu on the Roadhog, and then they were running Seagull on the Hanzo. However, since both Coco and Mickey are in this next match, we may just see that triple tank look one more time.
Certainly could. Kind of checking out what the players are playing around with here. And the character select, and it looks like for now it may be that triple tank, although Mickey, I don't think he's going to stay on the Sombra. That'd be pretty surprising.
Yeah, I don't think Harry Hook's the one who's going to be playing the Junkrat either.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
Let's take a look at what has been selected for London. So when they've defended, on the last time they played Junkertown, they did go for a quad tank composition that speed boosted from the right-hand side onto the cart and just overwhelmed the opposition. They're taking a more tempered approach this time. Prophet on the Junkrat. This is a more standard composition where you're attempting to play back with the Orisa shield and break the barriers on the payload and try and get to that bastion by using the Junkrat grenades.
That's the plan. See if they can pull it off here as Dallas Fuel gets started with their attack round. A lot of room to set a good time. And here we go. The payload is moving. Coco getting in position here. Harry Hook advancing safely to the cart. They gotta get him there as safely as possible. Shield broken. Taimu, tried to use the halt to land a hookup on the high ground. That was clever, but
yeah, that's what they're looking to do. Break the shield, immediately use the halt, and then pick off somebody.
Yeah.
from the side of London Spitfire, but
Knows there's a Junkrat back here.
yeah, that's why you see London falling back as soon as that shield is broken, trying to get away as fast as they can so they're not actually affected by the halt,
Yeah.
put in a dangerous position.
Well, Taimu's playing this one so carefully. Ooh, that's another hook that I thought was going to connect, but just didn't get far enough.
Well, you really do have to play this one safely, especially while Effect is down.
Oh, that's dangerous. Oh, Coco down. Now Chips. Birdring finding a couple kills on that Widowmaker. Man, when I saw Chips fly across the street like that, I'm like, uh-oh, that is a dangerous move, and they paid for it.
It is, and Harry Hook, is he gonna stick onto this Bastion? He's getting close to the tank mode. Maybe just want to try and use that to clear out and at least take point A, something that the Fuel couldn't accomplish earlier this week.
And Effect has been quiet on that Widowmaker on the Dallas side so far. Needs to start finding some picks himself. Going airborne. Ooh, Taimu gets a kill on the Fury. That's a good start. Can they get the res? Here comes the Riptire. Prophet finds the kill onto Effect. The Fury goes down in return. Gesture trying to just hold strong on the payload. Taimu low. Taimu taken out. And Effect now kind of finds himself on his own. That is not a healthy place for a Widowmaker to be.
Both of the Mercies went for the Valkyrie. Chips, though, was killed by Prophet's Junkrat.
Yep.
They are now down to a short 2 minutes to push this payload all the way back. Harry Hook will be coming back with a Bastion ultimate to try and help out.
Well, this is already looking pretty grim for Dallas. They need to have a really big push like now if they want to take point A and have enough time to go through and ideally take the attack round. There's a Hulk pulling everybody in. Harry Hook does have the configuration tank available. That ult is up whenever he wants it. Fury rezzed after Mickey takes him down with the self-destruct, but at least they've dislodged London. This might be their opportunity. Oh, but Chips gets hooked.
All right, gotta use that now. With Chips going down, they know they have to commit this ultimate and try and burst through the members of London. They will get Bird Ring.
Yeah, Harry Hook in big trouble now. They only killed Bird Ring with that one. Transcendence was up, and obviously the Bastion can kill people through the Transcendence with the ultimate, but you need a few more kills. Mickey and Coco surviving with just slivers of health, but they do finish point A.
Okay, the issue though, Doa, is that because the cart wasn't quite there by the time Harry Hook respawned, they're not going to be able to get control of the high ground here on the second point. He spawned all the way back at point A spawn. Now, normally we would see the Orisa and the Roadhog with the Bastion try and walk up this staircase right here, try and get up there and provide some coverage towards the point B enemy door.
Yeah.
But that's not going to be an option now, and instead, it's London with the preferential positioning.
All right, well, Effect managed to snipe the Riptire out of the air. Meanwhile, Taimu gets a pick onto Vidalson with a nice hook, courtesy of the Hulk from Coco. And they found Gesture on his own on the high ground, and now Dallas coming from both sides. Taimu going crazy on this Roadhog. You know, over the years, we've seen some pretty epic Roadhog performances from Taimu, and we saw that tweet. He wants to recapture that glory, and he found himself a Mercy. I know, mercy for mercy.
Taimu has always been a player that's been very self-critical about and realistic, I think, about his own performance. He's a streaky player by nature, but when he starts to get rolling, it is gorgeous.
Oh, absolutely. And you know, it is that self-critiquing that has helped him stay in the top tiers of Overwatch too. You know, he's not gonna be, he's not gonna sugarcoat it for himself, right? If he needs to work on something, he knows it and he'll let everyone know. Oh, nice reflect from Prophet. Oops.
Yeah, it's not gonna mean the most. It does mean that they're going to have to walk through the chokes, though. So instead of having the opportunity to play through a larger open door, it will close behind them.
Yeah.
And again, so these mistakes, right, as points are switching over, are meaning that Dallas Fuel is having a harder time on their attack.
How does he pull out? Doesn't get the kill on the Bird Ring after he hooks him, but has to back away. That whole hog coming in, and they've got the benefit of the supercharger too. Coco put that one down.
Yeah, Effect getting Nuss and Prophet, though, will allow them some more time. Fury delaying for as long as he can by sacrificing himself on the payload. And
well, Dallas really rolling to point C here. They've got the Valkyrie. They've got the ultimate from Bastion, too.
They've been stubborn about switching off this Bastion, but they got it back on the payload now. And they're going to have a long sight line heading into the point with that ultimate up. That pulse bomb is not going to do anything.
Yeah.
Except for...
It irritates Taimu, and you don't want to do that. It's dangerous stuff. Vicky trying to take the high ground now, chasing some people away here. Nice kill onto Gesture. Harry Hook, can he get any more out of this? Another one would help. Ooh, can't quite find Nuss. Oh, it was so close. Meanwhile, Effect rezzed after going down. Harry Hook back in the Sentry configuration. Doing a lot of damage here, but can't keep himself alive. Prophet with the kill. Mickey nearly demeched. He was down to like 14 health. Looks like he's going to be popped out of the Diva suit now, though.
This might be an issue. Prophet
Yes, it might.
will be returning with a Dragon Blade, and he'll be hunting for these Dallas supports. There's one down. There's going.
Oh, man.
Absolutely everybody.
Prophet. That is absolutely everybody. Fury comes in with the smooth fadeaway self-destruct onto Coco, too. Who gets out, but that's a rough one. They still have about a minute and a half to go. The duel happening. Taimu, can he find Prophet? No hooks onto him. That was close, though.
And needs to wait for his teammates before everybody jumps on him, so wise to fall back. Everybody has returned, however.
Yeah.
Minute and a half left. Still some time for Dallas to get some ultimates, but they are playing from a pretty difficult position.
Yeah, London with all the advantages right now. Oh, especially after killing 2 supports. That certainly is what I would call an advantage. It's not bad.
These are economy pushes from Dallas. They need to get some of their support ults up. They're only sitting at 34% right now with a minute left.
Harry Hook over on the Zenyatta now. Swapped off that Bastion finally. Effect moving to the Tracer. Taimu to the McCree.
I'm afraid that Dallas's best opportunity might have already passed them by.
I think that last fight, or 2 fights ago, is probably going to be it.
Taimu trying to pull out some heroics. They will be going for the double hit scan.
Hey, it wouldn't be the first time. See if he can do it, though. Nuss does have that Valkyrie. Ooh, gets very low. Survives. No, Mickey.
That's a huge kill, actually.
Him off. Harry Hook and Taimu go down simultaneously, though. So Dallas losing people they can't afford to lose. Gesture coming up big with the counter dive.
Oh, and chips high and dies right as he gets the Valkyrie. Was a chance there to turn things around, but great response into the back line.
Dude, there's only
Justice
15
death.
seconds.
Yeah, there are only 15 seconds left, Noah, and it looks like Fuel will be able to get there, but it's going to be a bit of a desperate attack onto the payload itself.
Well, they got to try. Coco diving in. Mickey needs to get to the payload. They need to touch it. Less than 5 seconds now. And Prophet with that Dragon Blade looking for the opportunity. Oh, Coco on his own. He had to touch the payload. Can't blame him. Mickey doesn't get anyone with that self-destruction. Here comes Prophet again. He has been the hero of London Spitfire this map, and he will come through one more time, it looks like.
Yeah,
Effect brought back up, though.
There's no more resurrects, however, for the Dallas Fuel, so these guys are going to be permanently dead with that Valkyrie.
Well, they tried and they nearly got there, but they weren't quite able to complete it. Spitfire take Junkertown.
That was a close map, though.
Sure was.
And we've seen some good performances from the Dallas Fuel, but not enough to go ahead and take this map. However, certainly an improvement over earlier this week.
Oh, yeah, I mean, no question. Dallas already looking stronger than they did against Houston. That was really kind of the darkest timeline for them in that match, but bouncing back a little bit despite the loss on the first map. London Spitfire looking strong like we knew they would. It's not going to be easy for Dallas, but they definitely came to play today.
Yeah, they did, and really convincing, I think, from London. We see this roster and what they're capable of, and it's scary because you know they have 6 other guys on their bench, and it's only going to be more terrifying when they figure out the most effective ways of swapping out their players.
Those zoning outs don't go anywhere, guys. Map 2 coming up soon.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Omen by HP and by Intel.
league that offers opportunity for talented competitors to test and push our assumptions about how the game is meant to be played.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are coming at you live from Los Angeles, California. Welcome to the Blizzard Arena.
London Spitfire up over Dallas Fuel, 1-0 so far. And as we look ahead to Lunar Colony, what do you expect to see, Monty?
Well, I am really excited to see the substitution that the London Spitfire have made, because we haven't seen any deviation in their roster yet we know they have an excellent player, and actually many excellent players waiting on the bench.
This one that's being subbed in right now is one of my favorite players from our time in Korea. We're going to see in a second, but we're just going to tell you, Rascal's actually subbing in. There he is, finally. Rascal and Birdring reunited once more.
And for those of you who didn't watch Apex in Korea or didn't watch the preseason, Rascal has, as you say, typically been the partner from a team called Kongdu with Birdring.
Right.
And the thing about Rascal, and why I'm excited about him, is that he's such an interesting wild card player. When we saw him on the preseason on this map, Horizon Lunar Colony, he was playing Mei on defense, and his team played beautifully with him. He was cutting off all the entrances, picking people off. It was an extremely impressive display of skill. But when you see Rascal coming into the lineup, it means things like Mei as the second DPS. It means things like Sombra.
Yep.
So there are all these opportunities, and he is a bit of a DPS specialist, but in terms of creating interesting strategies, this is where you want to see the diversity in team composition from London.
Well, the fun thing is we look at our map pool again, Horizon Lunar Colony up next. The fun thing about Rascal that I always really liked is that he was very good at taking the new hero, whatever that new DPS hero was, and being the best with it early on.
Yep.
He was probably the best Sombra in Korea early on when we were watching it back in Apex. He was a great Doomfist early on when that hero came out. And he had those weird kind of pocket picks like the Mei you mentioned too. So he's a specialist in the best sense, and I'm looking forward to seeing what he brings here on Lunar Colony.
Yeah, and that's not to say he can't play standard as well. His aura is also notable. Probably not going to see it on this map.
Yeah.
But regardless, exciting time to have a new opportunity to look at a player in this London roster and see what they are going to be pulling out here.
We've been missing him too. I've missed my Rascal.
The two players I want to see the most that are on the bench have been Rascal and Fisher.
Sure.
I say on the bench. It's probably not a permanent thing. I think London is being intelligent in that they want to make a solid lineup and then figure out slowly how to introduce more unique factors and use all their players optimally. But they want some sort of bedrock, a foundation to build their strategies off of, and that's what we've seen up until this point.
Yeah. Wow, somebody better turn that computer off, otherwise anyone can just walk up and control that satellite, apparently.
I don't think this lab was secure or
well, clearly they had security issues.
Very ethical.
Yeah.
I mean, creating other beings with, basically creating consciousness in non-conscious animals, I think, is of questionable morality.
Hey, I'm just worried somebody could hijack that guy's Twitter account. That's
the real caster fear. That's why you can never leave your computer unlocked around other casters.
He could ruin his social media presence.
You know somebody's going to come up and troll you.
I know, right? Well, here we go. Dallas Fuel on that high ground defense. London Spitfire on the attack. And Fidosin, the one actually playing the Sombra. We thought it might be Rascal, but he's going to bring out the Widowmaker.
Yeah, and we're not going to see the Moira, which is the typical use of this composition, instead of having the Widowmaker. So it's interesting that the Rascal is going to be staying back and trying to snipe them as they are forced onto the point.
Yeah. Trying to find some shots here as his team pulls Dallas back into the point off the high ground. Nuss low, Nuss taken down. Mickey getting those heals. He's not going to get D-Mech. And they're all hiding from Rascal.
Yeah, the idea behind this composition was to get the Sombra and the Tracer onto the point quickly, try and take over the health packs on both sides of the point with the hack to quickly build up an EMP. But the issue is when you have that Widowmaker, you're accounting for the fact that they're going to drop everything and then suddenly rush to the point where you're going to be able to hit a shot. And Rascal didn't hit the shot, didn't really have the opportunity.
Yeah, putting some damage in on effect, and that's enough for Birdring to finish the job. So now the man advantage going to London Spitfire here. Bdosin, though, I don't think he's got a teleport at the moment. He has to back off, has to be careful. Yeah, tossing another one over to that other health pack. And Coco getting low. It's getting dangerous now. Mickey taken out. And London with all the advantages here as they come into the point.
I disagree with Dallas Fuel resetting onto the high ground there, Doa. They didn't have enough players to effectively and quickly make it back onto the point. I think once you see this style of comp, you have to defend from the point itself.
Well, Chips gets stuck, Taimu gets juggled, and the point, I got a feeling, is going to get taken.
Fortunately for Dallas, they did win the first engagement, so they're going to have a lot of ultimates to work with on point B. So the chance of a snowball very low, especially as Bdosin is forced to use his EMP here.
Yep. People kind of streaming into the point to try to delay it a little bit on the Dallas side, but you got to give it up now. You got to get ready for that point B defense, and that's what they're going to do.
I think it's smart, though, that Dallas did that, because eliminating the threat of the EMP means that you have a guaranteed Valkyrie. You're not going to get EMP'd and not be able to pop that ultimate and maybe get snowballed. So that is entirely worth it if you're Dallas.
Able to force it at least. And now London Spitfire on the attack here on point B. See what they can get done with this first one coming in on the high ground now.
Yeah, the Sombra not going to be viable here on the second point.
Yep.
So they do switch Bdosin to the Zenyatta, not the same ability to flank with those health packs. And we're still seeing Rascal stay on the Widowmaker.
Oh, they tried to kind of get the back lines a little bit that with the dive on the Dallas side, but didn't work out. In fact, Coco taken down with that pulse bomb. Now Taimu using that tack visor. Can they get anything with it? They're pushing London back a little bit at least, but no, Rascal comes back in, trying to find those shots, but he's got an angry monkey in his face. Not anymore. Coco dies once more. Gesture res, so the Winston's still up for the London Spitfire right now. Now Mickey chasing Rascal away, but so much attention has been put on this guy. Meanwhile, Taimu finding a couple kills here, but it seems like the reses are unending on the London side.
Now the kills are starting to come through too in favor of London, so because they couldn't kill Rascal, he starts to pick people off.
Now Rascal's just wrecking people right now. Again, all this attention, they finally kill him as Coco pops that Primal Rage. Terry Hook trying to bide his time. He's managed to wait to use that Transcendence at least.
That Primal Rage was so critical.
Yeah.
We did see Bdosin try and get back to his teammate on the side by using the Transcendence, but because Coco moved him outside of the range of the healing, got the pick off and stayed alive, and even though it was so close to that first tick in favor of London, they didn't make it, so it goes all the way back down to 0 right now. Meanwhile, Taimu still has another tack visor to work with. Rascal goes on to the McCree right now. Definitely think that's going to be a better pickup, especially with how deep Effect likes to play.
I've got you in my There's the tack visor again, just not letting them out of that corner. Going to the side, he's gonna swap. Just pop the ult, so okay. He used that to give himself time to switch, I think. And yeah, he's going to the Widowmaker. When we used to see this, we used to say, ooh, Taimu's mad now, but I feel like that's how he started the day.
I think he's been pretty frustrated with their performance.
Yeah.
As we can see in his tweets earlier on. And
well, this is serious business, Taimu now. I'd be afraid.
Yeah, this is a response to seeing that McCree. So what happened was his teammates told him that there wasn't going to be another Widow, so he would always have the range advantage against the McCree. So as long as Effect plays a bit more conservatively and doesn't open himself up to some flashbangs or overly aggressive attacks, Taimu will have some opportunities. He's going to get damage boosted right here.
Yeah, gets a couple shots onto Gesture. More though. There's a nice one onto Fury. Can he get the deep neck? I think he may have. No, it was close at least. Coco blown up by the self-destruct though. Mickey coming back down. He did get the kill on the enemy. Zen at least. London still bottled up in that corner, trying to break out. Mickey going deep, man. Sees a couple low health members. Can he capitalize? They got a couple, but Rascal managed to demech him with the Deadeye anyway.
There were a series of good body blocks in that fight from Dallas, and now Taimu's still trying to hunt for a kill, and he's just not gonna get it. He has to switch off right now.
You just can't heal, or you just can't get those kills through the Transcendence, and somebody's got to get to the point.
Oh, he didn't get onto the point.
Oh, that hurts, man. The ice block was a bit too early, and London Spitfire will go ahead and get 2 points here on their attack. 2-12. in the time bank for them.
Yeah, that's rough. He just didn't time the ice block right to hop directly onto the point there.
Yep.
And so the stall not possible. And now we get to see what London's going to do. Again, this is where they came through with the May in the preseason, so I hope we do get a chance to see that hero used here again.
I mean, when you put Rascal in, and if you put Rascal in and you don't play May on Lunar Colony defense, I question your sanity, London Spitfire.
Hey, I hope we see it. I hope we see it. Right now, doesn't look like we're going to be seeing it.
I'm questioning your sanity, yeah.
The clock is ticking down, but Rascal is on the Junkrat.
All right. I suppose that's reasonable. He's such a good May, though.
He is a wonderful May.
Oh, well.
There's still time for it in this match, Stoa, but it's not going to happen, at least on the point A defense.
Doesn't look like it. Not from what we can see, anyway. Dallas, another frustrating round for them. I mean, they managed to eat a decent amount of time off of the time bank, but 2:12 in the clock is still pretty good for London Spitfire.
Yeah, it is. But there's always those new opportunities, especially with the fuel. If you get a snowball push off the first one, if you can really just jam it through, you can get very fast times on any assault map.
Yep.
So Taimu now, looks like he will be playing that Widowmaker with effect on the Tracer, so pretty standard composition here to get onto the point and try and force a battle on the point where Taimu will have the edge through the big window at long range with the Widowmaker. London Spitfire playing what has become a pretty standard pick composition on the high ground here.
That's right.
So usually the way you deal with this, like we saw Spitfire themselves do, is put some pressure on the point by coming around the left-hand side and attempting a back cap, so they have to slowly make their way down to the point itself. Coco's very far forward right now.
Yeah, gonna try to tickle them from the lower floor with that Winston. They're trying to pull them back.
Yeah, effect's already on the point.
Yeah, they're gonna wait till the last minute, I guess. Yeah, okay, they send Rascal back on the Junkrat to get rid of him. Oh, and Birdring gets the snipe onto Taimu. You can see from the kill feed. Right now, Rascal just waiting on the point, making sure Effect can't get back on there and cause any trouble. And Birdring, man, just finishing people off. Dallas having to back away. Back to the drawing board for them.
Yeah, it's interesting they sent Rascal back to deal with Effect, actually. I mean, if you can hit him with a mine, but in that, you know, it's going to be tough for him to effectively zone him out. And
Effectively?
Effect back on the point again, so they are going to try this one more time. Mickey is now coming around to block with the defensive matrix some of the possible concussion mines that Rascal could be tossing out. Effect has to stay at range, can't get too close to the Junkrat.
I definitely wouldn't want to. Backing off the point for the moment. They still don't have that first tick on point A. The rest of Dallas Field just trying to get there right now, but they're being kept down by Birdring on that Widowmaker.
Yeah, and they're not really feeling the pressure to come back there. Rascal is doing the work needed to zone them.
Yeah.
So they have to dedicate some more resources as Dallas finally makes their way around. Harry Hook is still not here.
That's one tick. Coming in now, Effect. Oh, we've got that pulse bomb ready. Harry Hook taken out. Birdring found that kill again. There it is. Did he get the stick? No, not quite. He had a chance to stick gesture and he didn't do it. That is devastating. Harry Hook brought back up again. Dallas scrambling onto the point right now, but the kills coming in favor of London Spitfire. And Effect suddenly finds himself near alone, him and Coco, fighting for their lives on the point.
So they got a tick, but the problem is that Harry Hook was isolated well on the opposite side of the map away from the point. So what happened was Birdring tried to set up a crossfire onto the point where Taimu would have normally taken a position looking in, finds Harry Hook, kills him, and then basically the push is over with a big advantage for the Spitfire.
Yeah. Taimu on the McCree now.
I mean, it suits the way he's playing better. If they want to go in and all the members come around to the side of the point, this is the way you want to do it.
Yep. Rascal ready again for Effect on the point with that Tracer. Max Wade taking fire from both sides. Trying to find a place to put that trap where he can get Effect. Now he's got the shield, but the shield isn't on the high ground. Doesn't matter. Fury manages to get the kill into Coco here. Still on board with Rascal as he tries to deal with this Tracer. Effect got out, get a little bit of healing. Coco res. Now Rascal going in. Ooh, man. Birdring Knows where everybody is now, and that makes it easy. Onto effect. Coming around the corner. What reflexes from this guy. I mean, yeah, you can see him through walls, but still, Rascal chases down Chips. That's another kill in favor of London, and they have ults to spare.
Yeah, they do, and they're the big ones as well. You can't fight into the point when they have a supercharger and a transcendence. They will be dealing an immense amount of damage. Dallas's only hope right now is to get Chips up to that Valkyrie as fast as they can.
Yep. Ooh, he's waiting for Harry to show his face again.
Vect is dead. Dosen hit him.
Oh, Taimu.
The right click, and Taimu playing at that range is just not gonna work versus a Widow.
They just can't do anything against this Widowmaker. Birdring just has the entire team pinned down, and Dallas Fuel has 5 seconds to get there and keep this map alive for them. Mickey D-Mech, though, that's not gonna help. They get the supercharger, but nobody can get to the point, and that's going to be another map win for London Spitfire. They are up 2-0 in this series.
You can see the communication from London. Every time they came with the flank, they would send the appropriate number of players over. They zoned out effect with the threat of the sort of one-shot concussion mine combo.
Yeah.
And even when they sent Mickey there as well, it was Fury matching that. When Mickey went away, or when they got chunked out, Fury went back up to the high ground. So really smooth transitions from high ground for London on the point, and take a nice selfie there.
He's enjoying it, guys. So I hope you're enjoying it too. Halftime coming up.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Intel and Omen by HP.
It's halftime here in the Blizzard Arena. Welcome back, everybody. It's time to break down the action that we've seen so far in the first half between the London Spitfire and the Dallas Fuel. It's Puckett, Reinforced, and Sideshow once again. We're going to get into this one starting with Junkertown. So far, we have seen both these teams playing this map, especially Dallas more recently. Today, they're coming in with their core lineup, and we got to talk about some of the improvements. As we run the highlights, what did we see from Dallas out of the gates?
Yeah, they were running a triple tank strategy for the majority of this map, both on offense and defense. Taimu able to play a position where he can have a lot of impact over on the Roadhog, and Effect was having a big impact on the Widowmaker when they began. Switch off to the Tracer for various different portions, but they also kept running the triple tank all the way to the end of the map as well, which is slightly unusual, not something you'd normally see.
Well, it can work as anti-dive composition. As I said in the pre-game, of course, Birdring and Prophet running the Genji and Tracer dives. So triple tank has a good time staying alive versus those dives. But I think they put Coco on the Orisa a bit far too long. And if you're playing the dive composition, it's so easy to run around the Orisa because she doesn't have any mobility. So maybe if they put Coco on the Winston instead, he would have been able to peel a bit more, and they would have been able to shut down the dives from the London Spitfire.
So if you stick with your triple tank, what's the ideal 3 for you? Do you still keep the Hog in there?
Yes, I want to keep the Hog because it deals so much damage to these small targets like Genji and Tracer, and he can also stay alive for so long with the 600 HP pool and, of course, his drinking. And then you have the defense matrix on the Diva, so I like those tanks.
All right, let's talk a little bit about why London was able to win this first map. Johnny, who had the biggest impact for the London Spitfire?
Well, for me, it was Prophet, of course. He started out with the Junkrat, and he dealt so much damage to the tanks of the London Spitfire. Here on the Reaper as well on the first point, with a huge flank coming in, getting around the entire Dallas Fuel squad. And then you also saw him swap onto the Tracer and the Genji, so he had a lot of impact overall, and for me, he stood out.
How do you stop a guy like Prophet, who seems that he can play every single DPS hero?
Well, it is hard. You have to think about the fact you can swap heroes anytime in Overwatch, and so you constantly have to adapt. Now, the Dallas Fuel squad, I think their strategy is a bit off in general because they're now back to basics, playing the same lineup we have seen so many times in the past, and so they're sort of stuck in the strategy from the past as well, where they don't really feel comfortable flexing to those heroes. We saw on Horizon, for example, where Kusta often is playing the Moira, and because no one in the former Envious squad has played Moira before, they have sort of avoid the heroes and the strategy involved in those kind of picks.
Yeah, I would also say that you're getting that kind of thing with Effect as well. Effect used to be the carry for this team, playing Tracer. He was like a one-man army in the previous patches where Tracer was kind of more impactful. But now he's playing the Tracer. We saw it on Horizon a little bit, but he's not able to have the same kind of dominating impact. He's not picking up 1-2 kills and setting it up for the rest of his team. So perhaps if we saw him playing some of the heroes, he does have a Genji. I know it's not quite at the same level as somebody like Prophet, but if we see him on more of these heroes that in this meta can carry, stuff like the Widowmaker, then perhaps they would have a bit more of a performance. Because right now, Taimu, although he was playing the Roadhog to a good level, was not having a superstar performance on the Roadhog that you would need from him to be able to like just launch you through those two maps.
Sideshow, I know we do have a clip. Sorry to cut you off. I want to get to this highlight, and Sideshow is going to illustrate it for us. For all of you Dallas fans that are at home worried, yes, your team is down, but there were some signs of life in this first game on Junkertown.
There certainly were, and here we've got a mini-map showing a flank around from Taimu and Coco. So it's these two guys at the bottom that you want to keep your eyes on here. Taimu and Coco, they go for a big flank coming from all the way around here, and they're going to pop up in this little avenue and try and get a halt and a hook onto Badosin. Now, you've also got to keep your eye on Prophet, who's going to be coming around here and trying to add pressure from this angle, along with Birdring, who's going to be doing the same from over here. So as we play this forward slowly, you can keep your eyes on Taimu and Coco at the bottom of your screen. They're going to go for this long flank, the two tanks, and they catch Badosin with a halt and a hook. At the same time, I'm going to pause it here again, and it shows that London Spitfire at this point are being split into two pieces. They can either choose to turn around with Birdring and Prophet and really focus on the peeling for their backline. Prophet could use this tire that he's just popped to help out Badosin, but instead he's going to try and launch the tire above here. Birdring's going to try and cut in as well, but Effect has a sightline, and this is them reacting to ultimates and being aware of them, which was such a problem for them in the Houston Outlaws game. You can see that as Taimu and Coco are wrecking their backlines, Prophet and Birdring decide to go aggressive. Effect shuts down this tire that's coming across, and they're not able to either win the defensive or the offensive defensive situation, because Dallas Fuel have set up this nice two-pronged attack so well, they're able to peel for their backline, and Taimu and Coco are able to kill the guys at the back. So they've got a nice strategy set up. They're just not able to pull this out often enough, I think.
Okay, so Dallas showing some signs of life, but they are 0-2, and let's talk about that second map here, Reinforce. As we go into Horizon, it's going to be a nice attack coming out of our Korean lineup, the London Spitfire. Let's talk about what worked for them first before we get to the issues from Dallas.
Well, Bedosen on the Sombra, of course, it works so well for many teams. We see this new meta in many ways, where it is the Sombra and the Tracer, and then Rascal on the Widow to just be another threat on the other side of the map. And it works so well for so many teams. So it's a nice strategy that works all around. But then later on, we get to point B, where actually Dallas Fuel put up sort of a defense with Time on the Soldier and the Widowmaker. So we saw some signs of life from this Dallas Fuel squad when you get into the nitty-gritty fights and you're not really playing the strategy game as much.
Sideshow, most impressive player from the Spitfire throughout their second win. We already talked about Prophet and what he did in the first map. Who was the hero for the Spitfire in Game 2?
You know, I'm going to have to go with Fury for this one as well, because throughout all of their victories in the Overwatch League, he's been putting up a really solid performance on that off-tank. Often goes kind of unsung in some sense, but he's constantly putting in great diva work. He's had a great Roadhog performance there in that last map, and he is one of the core members of the team that's allowing them to have these rotations, these quick adaptations, and put out a lot of damage from the tank line. And it's something that Dallas Fuel kind of lack on their side, this strong, stable tank.
Yes, and I also want to bring up Rascal here. We saw Doa and Monte Cristo often mention the sub-in from Rascal, who is such a flexible and versatile player, and he can play pretty much every hero, often the Sombra, the Genji, the Junkrat, the McCree, all of them. So this player had so much impact when it comes to the strategy involved in the Assault maps and Horizon here specifically. So shout out to Rascal.
So we've seen Birdring, we've seen Prophet, Rascal is in the mix. What is London going to be fielding in map number 3? That's the question on my mind. Reminder, before the break, we were in this same situation with the Gladiators last night. They were down 0-2 to Philadelphia Fusion. They won map 3. That got momentum into map 4, and they ended up winning 3 straight to take this series. So if you're a Dallas fan at home, don't give up hope quite yet, but you might as well at the end of Game 3 if they don't walk away with the win. The players know the pressure is on. We'll see if they can step up to the task.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Toyota. Let's go places.
this guy do more impressive things? Birdring being able to play so many different things so well.
오버워치 시작할 때 시걸 선수의 방송을 보면서 이제 오버워치를 시작하게 됐는데
Seagull looking for that shot. He's usually pretty accurate.
그때 시걸 선수의 갈매기 조류 저도 조류로 하고 싶어서 이제 버드에다가 링을 붙이게 돼서 이제 버드링이 된 것 같습니다.
I consider it an honor that he named himself after me just because he's so absolutely good at the game. It's kind of incredible.
And they are getting shredded right now, Birdring.
한국에서도 이제 시걸 하면은 그래도 오버워치 좀 했다 하는 사람들은 이제 다 아는 정도라고 생각해요.
I never knew I had that many fans there. I'm streaming and it's like 5 a.m. their time, but they still watch when they can, and that's incredible. The reach of Overwatch is truly global.
가까워지고 싶은 마음은 있는데 워낙 이제 시걸 선수가 이제 오버워치계 간판 거의 뭐 걸어다니는 대기업 수준이라서 약간 좀 제가 먼저 다가가기엔 좀 약간 부담스러운 느낌?
I watch him as much as I can every match. When we were sitting in scrims and I could spectate, I was spectating him most of the time. He is extremely good, and I would love to play against him.
All the kills for Birdring. He is greedy right now.
I really want to meet him. I still haven't. I've played his team, but I haven't talked to him or met him in real life yet. I just want to give him a hug. He's awesome.
That's right, and you can see on your screen, Seagull back in for Mickey here, finally getting a chance to have that matchup. Both of these guys have been looking forward to. Seagull versus Birdring. Two players enter, well, and they'll both leave, which is, it's just a video game, guys. Don't take it too seriously.
Yeah,
But it's gonna be a great
fortunately,
match.
both of them are going to leave
That's right.
and have another chance
They'll
to
be
play
okay, don't worry.
in the future, and it will be profits in for Rascal as we head to Oasis. So,
Right.
this is an expected swap-off here for the London Spitfire, but a bit interesting for the Dallas Fuel to take away their off-tank. So, what this probably means is what we saw from Dallas in the preseason is that they really like to use the Orisa Roadhog combo on Oasis, which was notably unusual, but now with Seagull in the lineup, they have some options to play Symphara as well as the Junkrat, so we could see a few different looks here. Triple tank, if we head to University with effect on the Zarya, certainly another option. So they seem to have some flexibility in the compositions that Dallas can run here.
Well, that's one of the things that everyone always gets excited about with Dallas, right? Is the amount that they can mix and match their players with the hero pools. But it's almost like they've got too many pieces, and they haven't quite been able to find out how to put them together to make that, you know, fast, efficient race car yet. Right now, they've just got a bunch of wheels and engine parts sitting around, you know?
But they're really nice engine parts.
Yeah,
and
that's
you know
right.
they're top quality.
That's right.
And once you can put them together, it's going to be a really sick racing car. But
Exactly.
you have to get there, right?
Right now, it's a pile of parts, but soon it will be one of those epic, sleek, Jake-slaying cars that you see outside of City Center here on Oasis.
I like that, the stat we had that day that
That's
now
right.
100% of car hits have resulted in eliminations on
Car-
Oasis.
Cars 1, Jake 0.
Cars won everybody 0.
It's true.
So effect actually on the McCree, and we do see Seagull on the Junkrat, so interesting times, especially with chips on the Lucio and Harry on the Zenyatta. Typically you would expect that to be the other way around.
All right, well, looks like they're going to roll with it anyway, though. Interesting.
Yeah, but
Here we go.
Yeah, we're actually going to see nearly the same thing. Well, Nuss will switch over to the Mercy.
All right.
And Fury will be
Understandably.
on the Diva right now. So actually no Pharah's coming into City Center. Will be ground war here on the bottom.
Yeah, both teams going with the Junkrat McCree.
Prophet's going to be flanking around to the side right now. He wants to pick up somebody on the back line. Taimu actually the first to fall.
Yeah, goes down early, just got into the middle of too much fire. Coming from the London Spitfire side, Taimu rezzed again though, so it's okay. The fight continues.
And now Prophet coming around again. They're trying to set up these crossfires, and we do see Dallas falling all the way back.
That's right, London's also taking control of the high ground, which is making it tough for Effect to move forward at all.
And still
Big
battle
round.
for this point though. Everyone contesting.
Yeah, both teams are playing it so safe here. Now Nuss goes down, Seagull taken out as well though. Losing that Mercy is big. They lost both supports, in fact. Dallas pulling ahead in this fight. There's no more healing for London right now. Deadeye, oh, he
Nice
finds
job.
Fury.
Right on the D-Mech coming off of Harry Hook walking up beyond the barrier, the Winston barrier, to get the right click to D-Mech, and perfectly timed with the Deadeye. That'll be a first cap here from Dallas. Seagull's got the tire, and that will be Prophet falling to the Junkrat ultimate and getting staggered well behind his teammates on the respawn.
You'd think a Prophet would have seen that coming.
Oh, well, he rarely sees those coming. I don't think any of us know. Not quite so gifted, I
We
suppose.
can hear them coming, though. Oh, Tynoon. And he kills on that one. Doesn't look like it. Taimu. Oh, actually, Seagull taken out. And here comes Gesture with the big Winston ultimate. Got a couple. Big Seagull off, but Dallas still holding strong on the point. I'm looking for one. Gesture taken down. They've got that early kill. The Reds comes in on the Winston, of course.
Resurrect still available here.
Oh, went for the hook on the Mercy. That is bold. Didn't hit it. Able to get out, though, with the breather.
Okay, he's not going to use the whole hog now, Taimu, to go ahead and push this Transcendence Zenyatta off the point. Two members of the Dallas Fuel are down now as Taimu falls, so
no more tanks.
It's a matter of cleanup, and basically they're just heading onto the point one by one. So Dallas still has Harry Hook and Effect alive, and this will mean a retreat back towards their spawn. Effect is low, but getting healed up. Solid the Orb of Harmony.
Yeah, solid first hold for Dallas, and they have a lot of ultimates to come back and retake the point with. So now it's on London to just be really efficient with this next fight.
Yeah, I think if you're Dallas, you're still feeling like you're in a good position for a retake, especially if Seagull can pull off a pick. Prophet's going to make the first attempt, though, with the Rip Tire.
Yep. Whoa, this tire's going way up there. And death from above. Oh, 3! He came from behind, and nobody saw that one coming. That was crazy.
Wow, what a long-range tire, and everyone grouped up. No one able to shoot it quickly enough.
Yeah.
So that's a lot of time for this control percent to build up now as Prophet makes the big Rip Tire play. However,
it's huge.
Nothing used for the Dallas Fuel, so it's not a wasted push.
That's right. Oh, don't play in traffic. That's getting a little bit dangerous. It's high noon. Oh, but Effect takes it down. That was the Old West shootout that I think we were all hoping for there. Effect a little bit quicker on the draw, though, than Birdring.
That was overly aggressive from the members of the London Spitfire, however.
Way too aggressive,
And now Taimu's mercy hunting on the sides, misses his hook. But it's still going to be a point capture here for Dallas as things are going to swing back into their favor, and they will take the lead shortly.
I've never seen two McCrees just like high noon at each other like that. Nice hook from Taimu, another kill. And that was about as Old West as it gets. Effect with another kill onto Birdring. There's a new sheriff in town, and I'm using that in a much better sense than the Houston Outlaws.
Yeah, creating law and order on the point.
That's right. Justice has been served in Dallas. Getting close to 90% already.
And they still have the Trance, they still have the Valkyries trying to get some environmental eliminations and prevent them from attacking as far forward as he can. Prophet will take out Seagull's Rip Tire, so no forward kill there, and Taimu will find himself in traffic.
That's right, another sacrifice to the traffic gods, and Dallas trying to hold without one of their tanks right now. London coming in. They've got that Transcendence.
Yeah, Supercharger's been deployed, so they want the damage while they wait for Taimu to come back.
Well, they got Birdring, actually. Here comes the Transcendence a little bit late. Effect already with 2 kills here. Seagull trying to stay alive, sneaks through the pillar there, turning around, in Effect relatively unopposed if he can survive the one-on-one. He bounces back, gets the kill on Bedosin in the end.
Oh, the ult and the flashbang.
Whoa!
That'll be Dallas Fuel taking the first point on Oasis.
Yeah, they are still in this one, and pretty epic round from Effect on that McCree.
Yeah, absolutely. But Taimu hitting the necessary hooks as well. Not Hicks, hooks as well.
What do you have against people from the country, Monte Cristo?
I did not mean that at all.
Wow.
And we're going to see if they run a similar strategy here, whether the Pharah is going to come out on one of the most Pharah dominant points in Gardens we have in Overwatch.
You'd think so, but then again, we're talking about Dallas Fuel here. They were one of the teams that during the preseason had this really unique composition that rejected the Pharah, and they did win those matches.
Yeah, they did, and it was because they were so good at that, what Uber calls the ball and chain combo of halt into the chain hook.
Yep.
And they're going to try it again here. So Effect once again coming around to the side, and it is Gesture on a Reinhardt and Fury on a Zarya. Now,
interesting.
This is a composition you might say, okay, we'll see this on University. You would almost never expect to see it here on Gardens.
I mean, this is something done in expectation of what Dallas brings out here.
Yeah, I think
they're going to try to break that hard point, and they've got a composition that may be even harder.
So the halt is less effective against Reinhardt because even if you use him, you can't get him from behind cover.
Yeah.
So
well, they still kill Gesture first. Coco goes down as well, and London does manage to muscle Fuel off of the point long enough to take it themselves.
Yeah, it looks like it's going to be even longer now as Effect takes some damage on the side. Taimu does get resurrected, and he's just not going to be able to break through this Zarya and this McCree, especially with Gesture and Prophet nearly back. It will be taking some time for the members of Dallas to regroup, and we see all 6 members running onto the high ground right now from London.
And taking that more defensible position here. Prophet. Oh, what? That was interesting. All right. Well, that tire didn't do too much. Birdring, though, standing strong up there. Nuss does go down. Effect striking first. High Noon comes out. Now it's High Noon on the other side. Ooh, could be a big one. Fury does go down to the Riptire from Seagull, though. And Dallas pushing forward here. Effect gets brought back up again. And Gesture shield nearly down. Birdring. Ooh, can't take Taimu.
And the base right now, Gesture just has to retreat. It's only him, Prophet, and Nuss remaining.
Yep. Should be all she wrote for Prophet. There it is, and Dallas will flip it. So 55%, pretty good start for London Spitfire. Dallas Fuel, though, getting their control percent rolling, and they have a little bit of an ult advantage now.
Yeah, they just didn't get very much done with the Graviton, and Fury realizes it's going to be time to switch over to the Diva right now. Attempt to cut down on the effectiveness of the grenade spam from the Junkrat, and the Deadeyes from Effect at least get into his face. Effect well on the side right now, trying to deal some damage behind the shield. That's Harry Hook who gets hit by an Earth Shatter.
Oh yeah, that was one specially for him here. Flashbang comes in, Effect dodging to the outside. Seagull did drop during all that, but they're trying to find a way to equalize here.
Chips has used the Valkyrie, so as long as they can get back onto the point right now, should be effective. And Effect, point blank, flashbang.
Effective.
Very, and there's no mercy over here with the London Spitfire, so they can't answer the resurrections, and Nuss will switch over, but it's pretty late into this game for that swap. Maybe enough time.
It's time. Well, they took a gamble on something that was trying to counter what Dallas Fuel was using, and it didn't work out, so now back to a slight amount of normalcy here. Prophet, can he find another big Riptire?
He's looking for it right now.
Whoa, yes, he can.
Yes, he can. Both supports. It was nearly dead, but not finished off.
Snuck it down through the hallway past Taimu. Deadeye comes in. Can they save this one? Can they stall it out at least? Oh, he misses a flashbang, and that's not good. Birdring obviously can capitalize on that one. Taimu taken out, and London will get their control percent building once more.
Yes, up to 84%, and we saw Effect use the Deadeye late because he was already planning on swapping over to the Tracer. Prophet now on the Genji, so they're going to have to deal with some dive here. And Effect feeling like it's his time to stop this Mercy before she can get a resurrect.
Oh, that is a bold move by Prophet, but it pays off. Harry Hook and Coco both going down, courtesy of the little bit of the damage he did. Nuss taken out by Seagull's Riptire, but they need a bit more of that, or a few more kills.
Well, they're going to get Coco back up, so now they may just push on forward here because Nuss is all the way back at spawn.
Yeah. All right, Prophet low, Prophet down. An opportunity here. Fury trying to find a place to put that self-destruct. Locked in place for the moment here. We're into OT. Dallas trying to flip it back again. And that self-destruct gotta come out pretty soon here. There it is. Gonna go ahead and use it. Can't stay alive though. No kills out of it. Dallas with an opportunity here.
They definitely have that chance. Nuts is getting so close to the Valkyrie, but he's not there yet. He can't get his last 2%, just 1%, but it's in overtime, and the point flips.
They flip it. London Spitfire 99%. Dallas Fuel getting close to 90 themselves, and look at those ults on the Dallas Fuel side. They've got 4 of them.
Yeah, but Prophet and Gesture will have theirs momentarily if they can make it back in time.
They will try.
Birdring already there, so the starting the contesting early on, and they're gonna try and punish this Winston ulting.
Oh, Effect dropped early, but Taimu zoning the supports out. Has he done it long enough? Effect comes back. Taimu getting in behind. Oh, he misses another hook. But that doesn't matter because the kills are coming in big time for Dallas. They may have won this map right now unless Prophet can turn it around. Doesn't look like he can. One last ditch effort by Gesture, and now Snell go down. And Dallas Fuel are not out of this match yet. They will win Oasis.
And they still have that opportunity to run it all the way back and get the reverse sweep.
It's not going to be easy, but it is possible.
It is definitely possible. Numbani will be our next map. Seems like we might see some more substitutions, but an impressive 2-0 victory, even with unorthodox compositions.
Yeah.
Execution is there for the Fuel.
I mean, talk about some pretty epic individual performances on that series. Effect really came to play.
Now, think about the last time we saw Oasis Gardens with
That
0 Faras. Wow. Pulling it into himself there.
Hey, taking one for the team.
It's a sacrifice, and Prophet coming up with the good double support rip tires consistently.
Crazy stuff. Numbani next.
The Overwatch League is brought to you by Intel and Omen by HP.
Hey guys, this is Zoe again, and I just quickly want to talk a little bit about coaches. Every coach in this league has different things he needs to focus on. I'm now joined by London Spitfire's coach, Bishop. Please give it up for that man. There we go. Bishop, you guys are coming into this with two separate rosters, pre-existing rosters, who have a lot of experience and a lot of talents. What are the things you as a coach need to focus on here?
Well, the biggest obstacle that we have is, believe it or not, the fact that we have so much talent in our roster. All 12 players, really talented players. But it's a happy problem that, as a coach, to have. I know a lot of our fans out there and Monte are really looking forward to having some of the other players show up and play. But we're always trying to make it so that our performance is always, befitting the caliber of the players that we have. So it's a constant struggle to make sure that all the players, get their fair time and that we come up with the strong synergy roster. But it's something we're really working on.
All right. Now, how do you guys actually prepare against rosters of that size, such as Dallas Fuel, who's sporting 10 people?
Well, I mean, the fact that we have a 12-man roster, I think I can speak on behalf of all the other teams out there that have a large roster. And what I want to say is that the larger the roster you have, it kind of comes with its own risks. It's really obvious what a team is going to try and implement when a new player is coming in, because each player usually has a special role that they have within their team. So I guess when you're prepping against a team that has a large roster, you really want to look at the players' individual strengths and weaknesses and kind of play off of that.
All right, Bishop, thank you so much for the insight. Bishop from the London Spitfire, everyone. Now let's see if they can win the next map or if the Dallas Fuel will tie it up on that map number 4. And for all the action, we're heading back to the wonderful Monty and Doa.
All right, thanks. So it kind of sounded like Bishop was in a job interview in college or something. Well, our greatest weakness is also our greatest strength, in fact. But he is right, that you've got a lot to draw from on London, and we're starting to kind of see that big roster coalescing into a really, really strong lineup.
And as Mickey comes in for Seagull, you've seen the different strategies that each of the coaches are taking with these large rosters.
Yeah.
In the case of Dallas Fuel, we've seen numerous substitutions over the first 2 weeks of play. With London, they've been a bit more conservative, saying we're starting these 6 guys, and then occasionally, for the first time ever, in one map today on Horizon, we saw Rascal, their new player. So I'm looking forward to seeing how they expand over time. And also for you guys, as we head into Numbani, something fun. We did see Bishop himself be a professional player in Overwatch in the first season of Apex. So
yeah, you and I casted him way back when.
That's right, and he transitioned quickly into a coaching role over at Cloud9, and now here for the London Spitfire. So respected among his peers, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's right. And now we go to Numbani, a chance for Dallas Fuel to tie up this series and send us to that Lijiang Tower tiebreaker. And just as much, a chance for the London Spitfire to secure another match win and go 3-0 so far in the Overwatch League.
We're all hoping we go to that 5th map, though. That'd be...
I'd love to see it. And I think Dallas would really love to see that, too. I mean, after they won this last control map, I feel like, they really feel confident if we do go to it.
Yeah, this is one of those times, though, where you are pretty confident what you're going to see, as Bishop was saying. When it comes to the roster substitutions, obviously Mickey plays mostly that diva, and we are going to see a pretty quintessentially Fuel roster with Harry Hook and a single support. So Harry Hook playing the Soldier 76. He's the best Soldier player on this team.
Yeah.
And people might be surprised to see Taimu on Sombra, but he and Chips were both the Sombra players. So we actually have seen him flex onto this hero
many times
previously.
Well, and the other thing, too, is we have seen it a few times on this map, and that's where you hack the health packs around the outside and kind of make it harder for that team to make a longer push work, right? You're not going to be able to go back and heal up after you take a little bit of chip damage. You just have to go in and rely on your healers. So the Sombra thing is not used quite as much, but it can be effective.
See where he's going to hack first. Looks like he's going to go forward and hack that health pack, the mega health pack right in front, so that as they poke, there will be fewer options for the Spitfire to regain some of that healing. Spitfire will be going with the tried and true Tracer Soldier combination. This does mean that they need to get onto that high ground. Birdring, as you can see, patiently waiting. Prophet's already through, and he's trying to harass Taimu on the Sombra in the back, but Taimu's sitting on a hacked mini health pack right now, so it's going to feed him ult charge, really, as Effect comes around to try and help out.
London trying to draw Dallas away to give Birdring a chance to take the high ground here, but Nuss will fall instead, and now be dosing a little bit on his own. Oh, but Coco does go down. maybe they got a chance here. Taimu comes in for a bit of revenge, but Birdring, he did get that high ground. Now he needs to do something with it, but they've lost so many people already.
I mean, it's a 3v3 right now between Fuel and Spitfire, and Dallas Fuel has a spawn advantage on this map.
Yeah.
So they will be able to get back there faster, and that's why you're going to see Spitfire start to retreat. Prophet on the point. Well, Birdring, recall, he might have actually bit off more than he can chew.
Well, Birdring hopped out so that their Mercy could get back quicker, and now they're going to try to get on the point. They lose Gesture in the process, though, but Dallas Fuel diving deep, and Coco's going to pay for it.
Here comes the EMP, though. It is up and available. They're trying to corral everybody into a corner. EMP used.
Oh, and Mickey going to get DMAC nearly immediately. After using that self-destruct, going to be in a lot of trouble here. Yeah, that EMP from Taimu, though, didn't get them a whole lot as London is on the point, and they are going to be hard to dislodge, if not impossible.
Yeah, they didn't have any follow-up damage as they were cut off from actually executing that as London fell so far back down the street.
Well, Dallas back in it again. They don't want to give up this point that easily. Now Effective back on that Tracer, giving Prophet a bit of a hard time. They're zoning him into the room a bit, but Coco is taken out. Chips is going to bring him right back up again, but Birdring still on that high ground, and now he's got the attack visor. This could be bad for Dallas. They need to get up there and stop him, but so far, no good. As looks like Birdring is going to unload enough damage for Bedosin and the rest of London to finish off Dallas Fuel.
Yeah, they saw the attack visor from Harry Hook go down at the beginning of that fight and not pick up any kills, so Birdring with the high ground notices that Mickey's not going to be able to dash up to him to prevent him from dealing damage with that defense matrix, and makes the most of it. Taimu now onto the McCree. Not going to have the same opportunities to get those hacked health packs with Sombra, but not an effective defense overall, really, for the Dallas Fuel.
London with a couple ultimates to bring into point B too. Taimu over on the McCree now. At this point, though, I mean, we know about Navani point B, and it's nearly never held. Although Effect getting a kill on Prophet, every little bit helps. They're going to go ahead and stop them for a moment, at least.
Yeah, quick kill. That's going to be enough to move them all the way back. Coco playing aggressively outside of their spawn right now. He and Mickey are just waiting on the bridge over the spawn doors.
Yep. That's right.
Prophet is coming around the flank. Trying to kill some of those supports.
Well, Gesture got really low too. They went ahead and used the pulse bomb on him, but Effect couldn't find the kill. Now Birdring advancing. So Dallas eating up a lot of time on the time bank here. Already on point B. They may be in trouble now. Oh, Coco down, banned in the room. Rez comes in. Taimu taken out though. Birdring taking matters into his own hands, but then taken out by the self-destruct. Rez again, of course. And Dallas scrambles to try to hold some semblance of control on the payload. Mickey being annoying on the side, but he will drop at some point here. Yeah, Harry Hook with the kill on the Birdring. So it's just a long, protracted fight. Kills on both sides, but slowly but surely it seems like London is moving up, and they're building a lot of ults in the process.
Yes, they are, but the problem is that Nuss already used the Valkyrie. Chips held on to his, and it was a 5v6, and you still haven't seen any kills or any movement. Yeah. So as Taimu returns right now, it's like there's not going to be an opportunity for him to do much, but the stall was pretty good. They didn't force many ultimates out of London as the price for that push.
Yeah. Yeah, those ultimates built and used as London finally gets going, but that was a pretty good stall on point B. I mean, already right there. If they don't do anything else, that's already a good amount of time taken away from the London Spitfire.
And they're going to have plenty more opportunities.
They've got another chance, yeah.
They will have another chance to make this work. Gesture positioning on the high ground, and you can see Prophet attempting to surprise Effect, deal some damage as he comes out of the choke point.
That's right, trying to get in behind Coco here. Down to Harry, waiting to see if Taimu can get anyone. No, nobody. They do push them back, though. There is such a thing as a zoning ultimate.
And it does make way for the Valkyrie.
Oh, Harry Hook caught by that self-destruct, too.
Yeah, they have no more resurrection charges either, so without anybody on the payload.
Yeah.
Just move straight on through. 2 minutes and 40 seconds left to push through point C.
Yeah, and they're going to keep 3 people on that payload, or else I would think they would want to, because Dallas Fuel could still stop them, and there's only about 2.5 minutes left for them to push through point C. This is where it gets tricky if you're London.
Effects death there. A bit needless. He wasn't stalling the payload out at all, and it means some free movement on the cart. Coco wants to switch over to the Reinhardt right now to more safely approach the payload. Not too many flanking options on this point.
Self-destruct. Ooh, anticipated Tracer being there, but she wasn't. Birdring back around the corner again, and now they're going forward. Mickey trying to cover for his team just a little bit. Birdring needs to really be careful of those flanks. In fact, trying to find him. He's got that dead eye. Oh, Coco did fall. That's an opportunity for London as they move forward here. More kills coming in, and the Valkyrie paving the way. There we go. He's been waiting a long time for that one. Finally, the flashbang connects, and he takes down Effect. Birdring.
That's only Taimu left, Doa.
Yep, that's not going to be enough to stop this payload right now. Can Dallas get anyone there in time? No, they can't. And that will be round one complete. London gets it all the way to the end of Nimbani.
Yes, they do, and you have to wonder if Dallas Fuel had a more effective push when they had the Valkyrie advantage towards the end of point B, because with that investment and the fact the cart got tapped in there meant that there was a big edge for London when it came to pushing that last point.
All right. Well, only about 1:30 left on the clock, so a good attack run for London, but not something that's insurmountable by Dallas, certainly.
No, the first hold was good for them.
Yeah.
And as we start to line up in this game...
That's Coco's excited face, by the way. You wouldn't know it, but
it's also coincidentally a sad face.
It's subtle. It's subtle, but it's true. He knows they've got a shot.
Well, this defense seems like it will be pretty standard from the side of London, except for Bedosin running the Ana, which is standard on this map even to this day, but otherwise maintaining the Soldier 76 and still running the double support, unlike what we saw from the Fuel. Looks like we'll be getting something quite similar from Dallas, except with the Lucio. Harry Hook moving back over to that hero and not going to be going for the Zenyatta, so wanting that speed boost to efficiently move them onto the point.
That's right. Now, we've seen them go as far as to use things like quad tank in the past to get really aggressive with that Lucio, but
you know,
I don't think we're going to see that this time.
Yeah, problem with Numbani is that you try and run that quad tank, sure you can get right onto the point, but it becomes a shooting gallery because you don't have the necessary movement to contest the high ground, so gets a bit awkward.
So something more standard coming out from Dallas. Moving ahead with Harry Hook here. And we'll see what Taimu can do on that Soldier 76. One of the heroes he's played quite a bit of over the years, of course. Harry Hook getting really low, taken out immediately. Whoa, he went in there and there was just no protection. Chips dying as well. That is really weird that they lost both supports so quickly.
Well, the big factor was Bedosin hit almost all of them,
I guess,
with a biotic grenade as they came in.
Yeah.
So without that healing, made it a lot easier to pick them off, and it's very transparent when you're running the Lucio that you're going to be running through on the low ground up the main alley and trying to collapse onto the side.
Let's watch that again. And
I will keep you here.
now, here we go. It's very exciting.
Yep.
He's gonna hit the biotic grenade. Oh, there
wow, he just lobbed it in there, man. That was
it was a good one.
Made it look easy. All right, Taimu taken down already. As Dallas comes in, they do get one pick, though, as the fight was taken far off the point. Now falls, so no mercy for London Spitfire. Maybe something that Dallas can capitalize on. They've nearly got it already. They've just zoned out London, and they will get the payload moving very quickly.
Yeah, Taimu sprinting back to the point on the Soldier 76.
Oh, and then die.
And then die, you know.
Oh, but Mickey's there.
Like you do. Yeah, Mickey's there.
I got this, guys. Don't worry.
Popping that card. Taimu has to get all the way back, though. Everyone else spawning close to the payload. Looks like the timing will be okay as he makes it back, just as his teammates get onto the payload. So now, an opportunity here for Dallas to make a significant push.
And here's where they really got to make up some ground, man. This is where they stopped London Spitfire, and if they can move through point B quickly, they'll have a nice little edge coming into C. Taimu in a lot of trouble now. Zoned out, taken out. Birdring died on the other side. Both teams sans Soldier.
Mickey's still pushing forward, and with Effect winning the Tracer duel against Prophet, nobody's going to be able to get close to this payload.
Yep.
And we do have a nano boost available now, so I'm not sure how long Fidosin wants to stay on this Ana.
Wow, that was a bold DMAC onto Fury there. Effect just walking right up in front of Diva and saying, all right, hey, use your right click. And then as soon as that defensive matrix was down, he just tosses it right in her face.
Yeah, he does. So Gesture's going to come back in. We're about to start this fight one more time.
Yeah.
Valkyrie's been used. Where is the nano boost going? Is it going onto the Winston? He's going on to, it's like the tack visor.
Tack visor, some of that getting eaten by the defensive matrix here. Sound barrier comes in for Dallas now, trying to just grind out a fight right on top of the payload here. But the dive from London Spitfire getting into the back lines. Mickey can't quite counter dive, does get away from the pulse bomb at least. And Chips does end up getting taken out by Gesture in that primal rage. They're not done yet, though. They nearly got it through to point B. Coco does fall, though. So now
the stick! The double kill!
Effect with the hero play, but can they get it through to the rest of point B? That's their chance. That's their opportunity.
It's not. Dirt Prophet and Birdring still alive.
I don't know.
On the point, so they clean it up.
That was as close as it can get, just 0.62 meters. And they would have had point B, but despite the heroic efforts of Effect, they couldn't get it there.
Yeah, without the actually being on the payload itself does make things difficult. Now they can. However.
Wow, after all that, they just come in and nudge it forward, and that's it. All right.
Only a couple DPS players to maintain that presence, so not enough HP to make sure they can stay on the payload. Still, 4 minutes, 10 seconds, so ample time for the fuel.
Yep.
To work back on this map. They do have to wait for Effect, though, and they're going to use that time to move up onto the high ground as a team.
That's right. Moving as a unit today, much better than they did in their match against Houston. Ooh, gotta watch out for that pulse bomb. Nobody going down, though. Taimu meets Tracer in the hallway, runs the opposite direction. Birdring with the kill onto Coco, so a tank out of the way now.
Yeah, Coco launched himself into the enemy team, but immediately got flashbanged, so no opportunity to get away from the members of the London Spitfire, and this will be a reset for Dallas.
Yep, Harry Hook still on that Lucio. You know, you see a lot of players switch over to the Zenyatta at this point, but he's going to stick with it. It is his support hero of choice.
And he's also very close to the sound barrier, so
true enough.
They have enough time that he could get a sound barrier off, switch back to the Zenyatta if he needs to.
He could still have a trance, too.
Yeah, still have a trance as well, like you say. So I think this is smart for now. You don't want to really ruin your ability to contest with these ultimates. Already has the sound barrier. This may be the go button.
Yeah, Coco very low already. He's going to drop the sound barrier. Oh, Coco falls anyway, though. Mickey takes out Birdring with the self-destruct, and Taimu getting juggled. Can't get the kill onto Gesture. Meanwhile, back at the payload, it's still moving forward just a bit, but now London turning their attention back to it. The ult comes in from Chip, so the reses as well, but Prophet in action to get the kills. Looks like that might be about it. Yeah, London coming back strong with these reses here, and Mickey demec'd. It was a valiant effort for Dallas, but London able to get a little bit of control over this payload here. Still 2.5 minutes here, so like we said, Harry swapping over to that Zenyatta. They've got time to build up those support ultimates another time and make another good push.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what you need now is Harry Hook actually being able to use his orbs to target down members of the Spitfire and make sure they have the necessary damage. So if they're calling good targets, they can more efficiently pick people off. And
wow, speaking of picking people off, Bolt Effect and Coco falling right there. Coco just carved off of the rest of his team.
Still though, Prophet in the back lines. As we see right now, he's looking for a chance to get onto these supports, doesn't find the opportunity, will recall back around.
Prophet's become quite annoying on this Tracer, and with no McCree on the Dallas side, there's not a lot they can do to stop him from just plaguing them.
Yeah, but Mickey did delay him, and he doesn't have any HP, so means they're gonna go all in.
Oh,
it's not he gets Taimu, surprisingly, dropped it onto the ground.
Yeah, I got Taimu a little bit too close to that one, I guess. Birdring turning, no flashbang onto effort.
Okay, so all 6 members up with that resurrection, and a minute remaining. Nuss still has a Valkyrie available for his use. Taimu wants to engage with the tactical visor.
Uh-oh, but taken out immediately as he does so. Great fight for London. That's an ultimate I think Taimu wishes he would have had back.
Yeah, but he's going to switch onto the McCree, so
that makes sense.
That's what he wanted to do. He knows that Prophet's been playing solo in the back line. So if Prophet tries to extend again, he can be punished. True. By the McCree, but there's very little time to accomplish that goal. Effect is actually saved by the defensive matrix.
Yeah, really close call there. Oh, and a closer call as the missiles find their mark. Now Dallas, after Effect comes back, have maybe one more push before we will be into overtime. They need to get it done right now.
And Prophet's going to be changing his approach. No longer going deep into enemy lines, no longer wanting to get caught out.
Yep, playing it safe. And here we go, Primal Rage already for Coco. Mickey coming forward, Effect taken down though. They found him on the outside of the fight. The sneakiness didn't end up working out. Now Prophet has an opportunity. Pulse Bomb, if he can stick it. Harry Hook in a lot of trouble, there it is. Transcendence comes out though, both support ultimates used. Birdring taken down by the Pulse Bomb, we're into OT. Nuss drops to the self-destruct, so Dallas maybe with a chance here.
Nuss dropped with his Valkyrie. He had every opportunity. Both charges of Resurrected already been used by Chips.
Oh, that payload is moving, man, but the respawns are coming in for London. They gotta get on the payload in a hurry. Dallas getting closer and closer. Can they do it? Here come the respawns. Gesture really low. They take out the monkey. Oh, Nuss comes in with the resurrect just in time. Valkyrie used They can't get to the payload, and we are going to the time bank round.
Gesture walked away from the payload.
Man.
And it just rolls straight in.
Yeah.
I mean, unfortunately, for the Dallas Fuel, the best they can do with that overtime is get a draw now, so they've still lost this match, but...
That's the thing, yeah. They finished in OT, so no matter what, London will be winning this one, but Dallas Fuel at least with a chance to come away with a tie in one map.
Yeah, that's about the best they can hope for. A minute and a half on the defense now.
Yep.
Looks like even though in the past we've seen Taimu go on to the Torbjorn in situations like this, he will be playing the Sombra once again.
That's right. Well, despite any results, certainly a stronger showing for Dallas Fuel. They've really made London work for it today, and it's kind of surprising. I mean, the experimentation is good. We knew this team needed to kind of rework some things to do better down the line, but you can really see kind of what a night and day difference some of these lineups are.
It's just, Dallas Fuel is such an enigma because they are going to be 0-4 now, but yet they've had competitive series with both Seoul and London.
It's odd. It was like it was the best of teams, it was the worst of teams. You really don't know where to put these guys, but numbers-wise, they're going to be down at the bottom here for a little while.
They have had a difficult strength of schedule to start the season off with.
They have.
And so as we move in, there will be more time for them to find their bearings.
Effect hunting people. Mickey gets a kill in a gesture early on. Oh, sneaky cowboy. The spurs give you away, though, oftentimes. It's hard to be sneaky in spurs.
Why does he wear spurs when he is never seen on a horse?
I don't know. Maybe he hops on Orisa once in a while.
I would love for that to be a combo.
That's what I always thought, man. Well, Chips brings back Harry Hook. Is now London going in. That's what Orisa's ultimate should have been in. Engage with Riot.
Giddy up. We'll call it giddy up.
Giddy up. That's great. We should be game designers. Here we go. London slowly pushing onto the point. They're trying. Dallas Fuel still on that high ground. Ooh, Harry drops again. Birdring finds another kill. Coco falls as well. Good opportunity for London. They only need that first tick to win the map, and those are the kills they're looking for. That's going to be it. London Spitfire will take the 3-1 victory over Dallas Fuel. Winning this match, they're going to go up 3-0 in the Overwatch League. Strong team, man. It is going to be tough to stop these guys. And the scary thing about London Spitfires, as time goes on, they're going to get even better at putting this mega roster together.
I think that's going to be true of both of these teams, though, Daw.
True enough.
Like, at least for the players they have right now, London had the right idea of stabilizing the roster coming into the season and slowly introducing new variables. Meanwhile, the Dallas Fuel, a bit more scattershot in their approach, and while it's made some matches close against some of the best teams in this league, they haven't been able to come away with a tangible map victory.
You know, I think if you're a Dallas Fuel fan, though, you have to look at this and say, by experimenting like this, by trying different things, you're giving up some wins now for theoretically more wins later, and you kind of have to look a little bit farther ahead with this one.
Yeah, I agree. I think that the Dallas Fuel roster, if they maintain it being static, it will be a good team, but it's not going to be the best team. By introducing new players that legitimately will help fix the flaws in their game and become more versatile, they have a chance to get better than what their ceiling would be with only using 6.
That's right. It's like reworking your golf swing. You're going to miss a lot of shots initially, but ideally you're going to be able to hit more hole-in-ones later. So, on that note, sending over the desk. Hey, they're already. Hey guys, how's it going?
I'm doing great. How are you guys doing?
We're good.
Fantastic finish to a great day here of Overwatch League. Welcome back to the desk as we break down the action between the Spitfire and the Dallas Fuel. Your final score, it's going to be 2-1, just like in their matchup against Seoul. Dallas falling just short. And we're going to start here, though, with the comeback tour of Dallas. They started to mix up the lineup a little bit going into game number 3. They bring in Seagull, and they get a big victory on Control. Let's start with the highlights here from Oasis. And Sideshow, I want you to walk me through some of the early moments.
Yeah, so Dallas choosing to run Seagull in this lineup, I mean, this was a fantastic... He just takes this tire all around the houses and a great finish to it. But focusing on the Dallas Fuel roster, they've taken Mickey out of the lineup and added Seagull for this kind of triple DPS composition, but Taimu's on the Roadhog, so you still have this strong tank core, and they were playing it very well. This is a great composition for them that has a lot of... it fits their heroes that they're really good at. It fits the map pretty well, even though it's a niche kind of pick that we haven't seen a lot of people do. And I think London had a bit of difficulty reacting to it.
Yeah, well, it's what I asked for at the start of the match. I wanted to see the Junkrat come out and potentially shut down Birdring and profit on the dives, of course. So as we saw it later on Oasis, they managed to take a map. And maybe if they utilized the anti-dive with the Junkrat a bit more, they maybe had a better chance of winning the series.
So better chance if you look at the other game types. But Dallas did walk away with the victory on Oasis. And Johnny has a illustration for us. This is the effect that Effect has on opponents.
Wow, thank you, Puckett. Yes, brilliantly. So I'm going to try to keep this concise. Obviously, we have a 5-on-5 fight here. Behind Profit here, we see Nuss has gone down on the Mercy. And meanwhile, back in the spawn of Dallas Fuel, we see Harry Hook over here. So it's a 5 versus 5 fight. And now we're going to take a look at Profit in the center of the screen. And we're going to see that Taimu is going to get some shots on the Prophet, and Effect is going to finish him up. And they're up in a 4 versus 5 advantage. And so with that, we're going to see how London Spitfire react. So they're going to get this kill onto Prophet right here. And that's where the counter engage goes up for the London Spitfire. So Jester jumps in, Fury goes after, but those in on the Transcendence. And right around here, we can see that Effect on the Tracer. He has so much impact here. He's going to flank around and shut down Birdring on this Tracer, who's going for the back line to kill Harry Hook and to kill Seagull. And so as we play this one out, we're going to see that the Effect successfully managed to kill, or not kill Birdring, but at least deal some damage, gets a kill onto Bedosian, and then by himself, he just shuts down Birdring's effectiveness throughout the fight. And with that, Taimu and Coco managed to kill the tanks on the point.
Perfect demonstration of the effect that Effect had.
Grammar lesson.
As soon as I said it, I was like, Miss McGreevy, my English teacher, I'm so sorry for that one. Big win there for Dallas, and that's where we had hope for this squad. The lineup seemed to work, but now we're going into Numbani. They have to switch things up. They need the Diva, so they bring Mickey back in. Let's go to our 4th and final map of this series as we roll the highlights. Once again, very strong performance from the DPS from the London Spitfire.
Yes, they were fantastic. And with Prophet and Birdring, you always know that you're going to get unbelievably good performances. But I'm also very impressed with Gesture and Fury, the guy that you just saw on your screen. This tank duo, we talk about pre-existing rosters or pre-existing synergy with London Spitfire. These two had never played with each other coming into this, coming into the Overwatch League. And they are so good together. They're so tight. They're very aggressive. They go and make picks happen. And they just kind of abused and ran over Coco and Mickey. They couldn't keep up.
Coco definitely seemed to have some issues, and I think that is where they need to go back, watch the VODs, and see what went wrong today, because they seem to be just a little bit off in that final map. They did look better. Overall, the team is improving. And remember, this is just 4 games of the 40 before we get to our playoffs in July. But 0-4 start for the Dallas Fuel is not how they wanted to end our day here at the Blizzard Arena. Let's take a look at our total match schedule here for the day. Actually, before we get to that, we got to crown our player of the match. Here it is, your player of the match. Sponsored by Omen, by HP. Johnny, we let you pick this man. Who'd you go with?
I went with Prophet this time. So earlier yesterday, I said that Cybiolby probably is the best tracer in the world. Well, if there is someone who's actually going to make a claim for that title. It is Prophet, who's actually one of the better tracers in the world as well. But he's so versatile as well. We saw him on the Reaper, we saw him on the Junkrat, we've seen him on the Genji. He can just play so many heroes. So we talked about Rascal, of course, in the London Spitfire squad. He can flex to so many heroes. Well, Prophet can himself, and he's so good on all of these heroes. Just the last 3-4 months, I'd say, that this guy really started to shine in Apex Season 4 and managed to win it.
Yeah, he was so good. He came out of essentially nowhere and has been picked up by this team, integrated in so well with this mixed roster that they're running, and he is a genuine superstar. This guy on Tracer, you can see some of his statistics here, and he's been on fire on such a range of heroes throughout this match. And alongside Birdring or Rascal or whichever, or Hureg or whoever they put him with, this guy really does perform well and provides so much of the punch that makes London so impressive on paper, and so far they've managed to deliver on.
Congratulations, Prophet, with our player of the match, sponsored by Omen by HP. That is our final player of the match for the day, and we got to walk you through the full results here on day 3 of week 2. It all started bright and early as we saw the Seoul Dynasty dismantle the Boston Uprising. Some close games there, but as expected, it's Seoul advancing to 4-0. We got the Shanghai Dragons falling at the hands of the Florida Mayhem, who get their first win in the regular season, and we just saw a good one between the Spitfire and the Fuel. Moving forward, though, we have to look at the big picture here. In our overall standings, you can see the fully Korean lineups of Dynasty, Spitfire, and New York XL locked down the first 3 placements. Our LA teams are right behind them, and then we get into the middle where we have the Houston Outlaws and the Philadelphia Fusion tied at 2-2. So that means tomorrow's games are going to have a major impact on our standings, and we got some good ones starting at 11 a.m.
Well, that one's going to be so good. Los Angeles Valiant, they look so clean and tight. They were coming up against NYXL and unfortunately just fell at that hurdle. But here's another opportunity to show themselves as a top team. They are the guys who are gonna prove to the world that you don't need a full lineup of Koreans to hit the top of the table in the Overwatch League.
Johnny, what are you thinking at that 1 o'clock match? Who are you calling?
Gladiators Excelsior. It's going to be a good one, but Pine has really popped off, always on the control map. So can Hydration get through Pine's bullets? I don't know about that.
All right, and then at 3 o'clock, it is a major matchup for the teams in our bottom third. It's going to be Boston Uprising going up against San Francisco Shock. We'll see who can rise to the middle of the pack. It's been a great day, and on a real quick personal note, I want to mention that I will be out tomorrow at a death in the family, and we'll be at a funeral, but we have an awesome host coming in. Semler is going to be running the desk for the final day of week 2. It's going to be amazing, and we can't wait for you guys to join us once again. That's kicking off tomorrow, bright and early, 11 a.m. Pacific, here from the Overwatch League. We'll see you then.